Madhava Hari.
Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya
Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari.
Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana.
Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana.
Yamunatira Vanachari.
Yamunatira Vanachari.
Yamunatira Vanachari.
Yamunatira Vanachari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Thank you all. So today we are going to talk about the importance of offering obeisances. So before starting the topic, we'll seek all blessings from all the Vallabhas by chanting the prayers, invocation prayers. We can find this one in introduction of Bhagavad Gita as it is. You all can chant with me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I want to share my screen. So we'll recite a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 8th chapter, 22nd verse. This is a prayers offered by Kunti Maharani. You can repeat after me. Namah Pankajanabhaya.
Namo Pankajanaಭಾಯ.
Namah Pankajamaline.
Namah Pankajamaline.
Namah Pankajanetraya.
Namah Pankajanetraya.
Namaste Pankajangraye.
Namaste Pankajangrahe.
Namah Pankajanabhaya.
Namah Pankajanabhaya.
Namah Pankajamaline.
Namah Pankajamaline.
Namah Pankajanetraya.
Namah
Namah
Pankajanetraya.
Namaste Pankajangraye.
Namaste
Pankajangraye.
Pankajangraye.
Namah Pankajanabhaya.
Namah Pankajanabhaya.
Namah Pankajamaline.
Namah Pankajamaline.
Namah Pankajanetraya.
Namah
Namah
Pankajanetraya.
Pankajanetraya.
Namaste Pankajangraye.
Namaste Pankajangraye.
Anyone would like to recite the verse?
Namah Pankajanabhaya.
Namah
Namah
Pankajanabhaya.
Namah Pankajamaline.
Namah
Namah
Pankajamaline.
Namah Pankajanetraya.
Namah Pankajanetraya.
Namaste Pankajangraye.
Namaste Pankajangraye.
Nama Pankajane. Go ahead. Nama Pankajanabhaya.
Namah Pankajanabhaya.
Nama Pankajamaline.
Namah Pankajamaline.
Nama Pankajanetraya.
Namah Pankajanetraya.
Namaste Pankajangraye.
Namaste Pankajangraye.
Nama Pankajanaಭaya.
Namah Pankajanabhaya.
Nama Pankajamaline.
Namah Pankajamaline.
Nama Pankajanetraya.
Namah Pankajanetraya.
Namaste Pankajangraye.
Namaste Pankajangraye.
Okay, we'll go for synonyms. Namaha.
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 All respectful obeisances.
All respectful
Respectful obeisances.
Pankajanabhaya.
Pankajanabhaya.
Unto the Lord
Unto the Lord.
who has a specific
Who has a specific
depression resembling
depression resembling
a lotus flower
a lotus flower
in the center of his abdomen.
in the center of his abdomen.
Namaha.
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 Obeisances.
Obeisances.
Pankajamaline.
Pankajamaline.
One who is always decorated
One who is always decorated
with a garland of lotus flowers.
with a garland of lotus flowers.
Namaha.
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 Obeisances.
Obeisances.
Pankajanetraya.
Pankajanetraya.
One whose garland is
One whose
One
garland
whose
is
Glasses.
as cooling as a lotus flower.
as cooling as a lotus flower.
Namaste.
Namate.
Namaste.
Oh, sorry. Namaste.
Namaste.
Respectful obeisances unto you.
Respectful obeisances unto you.
Pankajangraye.
Pankajangraye.
Unto you,
Unto you.
Unto you,
souls of whose feet are
The soles of whose feet are
engraved with lotus flowers.
engraved with lotus flowers.
Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. My
Jai.
respectful obeisances are unto you, O Lord, whose abdomen is marked with a depression like a lotus flower, who are always decorated with garlands of lotus flowers, and whose glance is as cool as the lotus, and whose feet are engraved with lotuses. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
So, I'm going to share PPT now. So we'll come back to this verse in the discussion. So can you all see the... Okay, so today the topic is importance of offering obeisances. So this, what is obeisances? What we are going to see is the overview of the class is, we'll try to complete all these topics. Why we offer obeisances, mood while offering obeisances, power of offering obeisances. These three we are going to discuss for our next 40 minutes. So first one, obeisances. So the word obeisances means it's a gesture of differential respect. It means that polite way to show our expression. Then first and foremost expression of our love. So we use, like, whenever we see Vaishnavas or anyone, we fold our hands or we completely bow down, or that is the first and foremost expression of our love we express towards to others. So next one is submissiveness. So the offering obeisances is going to express our submissiveness towards to the person, and we will see the different meanings, like what are the moods while offering obeisances. So sometimes people may offer due to culture. So elders or respectful seniors, they offer obeisances, and that is a respect. Like we offer that is a expression, way of expression. Our we show our respect or submissiveness or polite way to show our love. Or so these are the basic definitions of obeisances. So basically the obeisances is the one which in the devotee's life, it's kind of life for them. Like without paying obeisances or without obeisances, they can't imagine their life. So we'll see how that, like sometimes people may offer obeisances due to fear. Like if someone is working under someone, some master or someone, landlord, or some people, servants are working under the landlord, they pay obeisances due to the fear. So even though the mood, like it's not a respect, due to fear, that obeisances it comes. So this is the general way of obeisances. But in modern world, due to the development towards to the modern age, the paying obeisances, some people may not take it. Oh, it's kind of menial kind of expression way. Can't you express your love in some other way? Like that they think. Like if you see in spiritual way, we want to become as much as service oriented mode. Like we want to become servants of the devotees or servants of the Vaishnavas or servant of the Lord. But in a material world, that word itself, it's kind of menial way. Like how in Bhagavad Gita 15th chapter, it explained this material world is a perverted reflection of spiritual world. So in material world, whatever it is, like so much of menial, like servant, that is the topmost mood one can develop in spiritual life, in connection towards to the Lord. So this is one kind of exact example of that metaphor of perverted reflection of banyan tree metaphor in 15th chapter. Nowadays we are reading daily. So how can we, that service oriented mode, how it comes, we will see. Like see obeisances in spiritual life. So in when it comes to the spiritual life, what is the role of that obeisances is, so in spiritual life, devotees offer obeisances to one who is worthy of respect. So it's not like a general, like it's without any knowledge, without knowing anything. It's not like only the respect towards to the age or seniority, no. But the spiritual life, it gives the knowledge worthy of respect. To we offer obeisances to one who is worthy of that one. The next one, the devotees offered obeisances full knowledge. It's not kind of blind way to offer obeisances. No, it's a full knowledge. How when a person offering obeisances means he knows the person to whom he is offering obeisances, first that one, and he knows the level or superiority in whichever way we can take, age wise or knowledge wise or whatever the way, but he knows the position of that person too. So that's why in spiritual life too, like we know the personality to whom we are offering obeisances with full knowledge. So that is the thing. Then it is the most meaningful act we can show. Like it's not an like physical activity we do, but when it comes to the spiritual understanding, especially one who understands the devotion to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, then offering obeisances become a most meaningful act. So when we know who is Krishna, then when we know who we are, then then the 2 points are going to, like, the servant is going to offer obeisances in such a way that he knows who he is and he knows to whom he is offering obeisances. Like the constitutional condition of all the conditioned souls is Jivera Swarupahai Krishnera Nityadas. So the Jiva Swarupa is Krishnera Nityadas. Das means servant. Krishnera, who's servant? Krishnera. So Krishna servant. In how? Nityadas, eternal servant of Krishna. So when we know this constitutional, this definition for our core, like, constitutional position, like we are servants of the master of Krishna, Supreme Lord Krishna, then the act which we do, the obeisances which we pay, that will become most meaningful. Then by offering obeisances, what is going to happen? Gradually the impurities of the heart get cleansed. So that is the one of the expression we show our love towards to the Lord. So there are a lot of moods in the offering obeisances. Sometimes we offer through the love, sometimes like begging for the mercy of the Lord, sometimes we request prayerful mood, like we want to express our love, how big the Lord is, or how you showered your mercy on us, like that. So we'll see that moods too. But what is the result of that offering obeisances is the offering obeisances to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna and the Vaishnavas. That spiritual limb is going to help us to cleanse the impurities in our heart. Okay, so in the Nectar of Devotion, Srila Prabhupada mentions that offering obeisances is an important discipline to get rid of material consciousness. So this is the one, like I told you, in this material world, we are actually, our constitutional position is servants and the master is Krishna, but we forgot that one. So we are in a diseased condition. So Prabhupada mentions that one, when a person is in diseased condition, he has to follow do's and don'ts, like by taking medication of the doctor. So in the same way, when we are in diseased condition spiritually in this material world, we need to follow do's and don'ts of scriptures, which are given by acharyas. So in that rules, there are a lot of rules. In that one is this offering obeisances. So the treatments which are recommended by Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. So those are the Guru, Sadhu, Shastras, which are given the rules and regulations, how to live, how to know who we are. So by following all these rules and regulations, one of the rule is offering obeisances. So then next, in fact, it is one of the limbs of devotional service. So offering obeisances is one of the limb of devotional service. So it is Srila Rupa Goswami, he enumerated like 64 limbs of sadhana bhakti in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. In that one, offering obeisances is one limb. So it is expressed, it is given as Dandavan iti hi. So Dandavan means like complete obeisances. So offering obeisances is not just a physical action, it's an expression of our love, and it is defined in the scriptures as a limb of devotional service in our sadhana, practice of our sadhana bhakti. So then next question will come, to whom we need to offer obeisances. So like it's not like we know the offering obeisances is very, very important in our devotion, but to whom we offer obeisances. So a person in Krishna consciousness offer obeisances actually for everything and everyone. But the important thing is he understands the connection to Krishna. So whatever he pays, he sees every living entity. He sees Krishna as a Paramatma in every living entity. So it's not blind way of offering obeisances. Everything is God, everywhere is God. No, that is a misconception. We have to connect. Ultimately, everything, the source of everything is Krishna. So that is, Krishna says in Brahma Samhita, Sarva Karana Karanam, is the cause of all causes. So the person in Krishna consciousness offer obeisances to everyone and everything with the knowledge of connection towards to Krishna. Then the pure devotee's conception is everything is ultimately connected to Krishna. That's what I said. So when the advanced spiritualist offer obeisances, he don't see the physical body to offer obeisances, but it's just a physical body is a means to offer obeisances to the Paramatma in that living entity who is residing. So he offers obeisances to Krishna, who is residing in the form of Paramatma in every living entity. So in this contest, I want to share one pastime of Srila Ramanujacharya. So once Ramanujacharya with his disciples was walking on the roads, and on the sideways of the roads, like kids, small kids, they playing some play. Like what kind of play they make? The play goes like they have the small mud deities, and they did that one, and they did the festival. So they offered some food in the form of like stones, marbles, like, you know. So in the same, it's like in imitation, they did like boga plate, and they offered, and they started giving prasadam. At the same time, like when they are giving prasadam, they come and give to Ramanujacharya too. Like, you know, they give like each one, and they come to give like on the way. So they give to Ramanujacharya. So Ramanujacharya accepts the prasadam. Not only accept, he paid obeisances to that what paraphernalia which the kid made, that is temple. They offered prasadam and everything to that one, to that scene, like Ramanujacharya pays obeisances. So it means that he saw the mood of that thing. It's not like how can we pay obeisances to the, like, you know, like kids playing the offering plate with all the stones and everything. No. So he saw the mood, and he saw the Krishna as a Paramatma in all the kids' mood. They want to worship the Lord. So this is the main pure devotees conception, how to pay obeisances. Then next, going forward, first we offer obeisances to Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we offer to obeisances to those entities who are very closely connected to the Lord, like Vaishnavas, dearmost devotees of the Lord, sadhus, acharyas, and those are the ones who are very closely connected to the Lord and who are dear to the Lord. Like example, Tulasi, Vaishnavas, Yamuna, Ganga, all these are the very connected, close associates of the Lord. Not only obeisances to the Supreme Lord Krishna only, but it's recommended to offer the obeisances who are very dear to the Lord too. So every day we chant like Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So what is the meaning of this verse is, I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone just like desired trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen soul. So this is the prayer, like, you know, we offer whenever we meet all the Vaishnavas, share Krishna Katha. At the end, we offer Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha. So the meaning, we need to meditate. Whenever we recite this verse, we need to meditate on the meaning so that we get connected to that Vaishnavas too. So this is the one thing. And next, so when we offer obeisances to other living entities or other devout Vaishnavas who are connected closely to the Lord, we are doing one service that is called Tadiya Seva. Tadiya Seva is in relationship with the Lord. So like when we do Tulsi Arti, we offer obeisances. So that is Tadiya Seva. Tulsi is connected to the Lord very closely. When we do Vaishnava Seva, when we offer obeisances to the Vaishnavas, that is Tadiya Seva. So Emuna, Ganga, as like that. Then next, in scriptures, there are two words described, like a few words, not only two. Obeisances is usually we call it as pranam. So pranam means, we'll see what is that one. Pra, anam. So two words. The prefix pra is there and anam is there. So pra means indicate something that is forward. So something comes forward. And anam means indicate something that bend down. So pranam means we bend down ourselves forward to express our love towards to that person. So pranam, means we call Dandavat Pranam. Dandavat means complete obeisances, like complete fall down, like fall flat on the floor. And Pranam means obeisances, folding the hands. So this is the meaning of Pranam. And in Sanskrit, there are, now we recited the verse Namah Pankajanabhaya. We will come to that one now. Namah. Namah means, Na means negation. Ma means like me, false ego, that one. So when we offer obeisances, that is which is going to remove the pride in us, like I. So recently I saw one drama by ISKCON Chopati. The title itself, it attracts me. When I will go, I may go. So what is this title of a drama? Like normally we see the other time. When I played the drama, it's a drama about the Bhakta Kanakadas. So that I don't go the full story of that one. His spiritual master, once Kanaka is a low born person, and so he was a shepherd actually. So he, once the robber comes and they loots everything of Kanaka, and he became like alone. No, nothing is there, all the relatives, everything gone. So he prays to Lord Govinda. He is a devotee of Govinda. So with the instruction of Govinda, he goes to a spiritual master. I forgot his name. So he goes to there, and he want, as an instruction of Govinda. So the voice says to him, he goes to that spiritual master ashram, and all the disciples of that spiritual master, they are Brahmanas, and they started like, rejecting this Shudra who is low born person, and they say that one, why you are here, you are contaminating this place. Then they started seeing like, untouchable person like that. But that person, as respect to the order of Lord Govinda, he stayed in that ashram itself. And the spiritual master is very like, he loves that Kanaka so much. So when once he calls Kanaka and all the other disciples too, and he says, Kanaka, you tell, is this person goes to Vaikunta. Like that, every time spiritual master asks, there are 4 persons, he asks every time, he goes, like that. And at last he asks, do you go? Like, he says for everyone, they don't go to Vaikunta. Even though they are learned scholars, they don't go to Vaikunta. There is a discussion between that one. But at last, spiritual master asks, do you go to Vaikunta when you leave your body? Then Kanaka says, when I will go, I may go. Means, when I means me. When I will go in me, my consciousness, the I, the false ego, then I may go to Vaikunta. So that's where the title, they kept like the drama. So when I will go, I may go to Vaikunta. That's he gave reply to that spiritual master. So that's what this Namaha means. Namaha means negation to the false pride. When I goes from me, then I become the servant of the Lord. So this is the Namaha. Just now we recited the verse Namah Pankajanabhaya. So the lotus noble Lord, Kunti Maharani is praying, I am offering obeisances to you. Namah Pankaja Netraya. I'm offering obeisances to one who has the lotus petals like eyes. Namah Pankaja Netraya, Namah Pankaja Malini, the one who wears the lotus flowers garland. Namah Pankajangraye, the one who has the lotus feet, like, as a lotus flowers. The feet. So that's how the Kunti Maharani is praying obeisances, paying obeisances in that beautiful prayer. So that is the one word we use. Namaste, same thing. Namaste, it came in the same word. Namaste in the last line. Namaste Pankajangraye. Then next, Namo Namaha. So we recite every day Tulsi Maharani prayer. It starts with Namo Namah Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Namo Namah. So same thing. We recite Namo Namah. So we are offering obeisances unto you, Tulsi Maharani. So these are the mood of some few words which comes in Sanskrit in prayers. Even if you go lot of prayers and from Srimad Bhagavatam, so everywhere the Namaha, Namaste, Namo Namaha, Namo, Namastubhyam. So all these kind of words comes when offering prayers. So there is a very, very close relationship or close intimate the offering obeisances and prayers. So the prayers is going to add kind of a mood to the act of the obeisances. So the mood, like that, the strength of the obeisances comes by the mood of our consciousness. So that consciousness is going to take shelter of prayer. So what we need words to express our love. That is the prayer, and we express, we show the physical act of our love of expression through folding hands, bowing down, or completely fall flat in front of the Lord, in front of the Vaishnavas, like that. So these are the some words which comes in our regular reading of the scriptures. Then next part is mood while offering obeisances. So the mood while offering obeisances is, see obeisances is an act. If you see anything like work or act, so according to the Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Chaitanya Shikshamrita, people generally perform acts due to 4 motivations. So those are with fear, or with desire, or with duty, or love. So basically for every act people generally perform, the mood behind this that act is due to fear they do act, work, due to fear they act in it, due to desire they want something in a reward, they act in such a way, due to duty they do that one, or due to love. So in these 4, where we need to stand, we will see. So as devotees, we try to be on the platform of love when we offer obeisances, if not at least on the platform of duty. So that's that we should pay obeisances, or we should do that limb of devotional service due to love towards to the Krishna, not as a duty. So then generally devotees should avoid this act of paying obeisances due to fear or desire. We should not pay obeisances by expectation of anything, or we should not pay obeisances due to fear. These two generally devotees or bhaktas in the form of their sadhana bhakti, they avoid the things. At least one should stand on the platform of duty. Then moods on offering obeisances. First one is humility. So there is a beautiful conversation, not conversation, it's a class given by Srila Prabhupada in Seattle, September 30, 1968. When Prabhupada was giving class, one gentleman asks, why should I subordinate to someone? I don't feel like to do that one. Then to answer to the gentleman question, Prabhupada said, so you are bowing down to everyone. Unconsciously you are bowing down to your boss in the office. You bow down to your kids sometimes, to make them happy, or to make yourself submissive in front of them. You bow down to your old age. You bow down to your death. You can't do anything if the circumstances come. So this feeling of not bowing down, not be subordinate to someone, is kind of disease. So that disease, Prabhupada said, because you are saying I don't like, therefore you are being forced to do it. If we don't humble ourselves, we are going to humbled forcefully. That humbled forcefully may come in the form of old age, in the form of death, in the form of disease, which no control is there. So one has to humble themselves, because the constitutional position of Jiva is Krishnera Nitya Das. Das. That Dasa is servant. Servant means has to humble to the master. So if we don't become humble, or if we don't thought of being like a servant, then this material nature, this life is going to make us humbled forcefully. So in that process, why to go for the forceful bending humble to yourself? You can yourself have a free will to humble yourself in front of the Supreme Lord Krishna. And that too by humbling, by subordinating, or by generating that humbleness in us in front of Krishna, it's going to give you pleasure. So that's what Prabhupada said. So once, now we have to find out where I shall be happy, even by bowing down. So it's not like bowing down is forcefully some kind of misery comes, or forcefully I am not at all feeling to bow down, but forcefully I'm doing. No, that bowing down brings you pleasure to you, brings happiness in you. That position is, that person is, that is Krishna. So one has to search where, even though subordinating themselves, they have to feel happy. That position is Krishna. Only that the where one can get happiness even by bowing down. So this kind of humility mood one should develop in offering obeisances. And one more like past time or situation, we can say once like Garga Muni Prabhu, like who is a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. So he was in front, I think once the class, like every day Prabhupada gives class to the disciples. So in a West it happened. So devotees, every time whenever Prabhupada enters to the hall to give the class, everybody offers pay obeisances to them. And Garga Muni Prabhu don't pay obeisances. He stood like that only. Then it has been some time happened, days passed like this. One day after the class, Prabhupada asked any questions. That time Garga Muni Prabhu said, so whenever you come into the room, or whenever you enter into the room, everyone bows down. I don't feel like doing it. Is it okay? Like that he asked to Prabhupada. Then Prabhupada said, you should bow down. By bowing down, the feeling will come. So Prabhupada said this very strong, like, direct instruction. Even though if we don't have feeling too, but we have to bow down. By doing the act, the feeling comes. So that's what Prabhupada gave that instruction to Garga Muni Prabhu. So that's where the humility, that's how we, even if we don't feel to offer obeisances, we have to do that one. The next, due to the respect. So how the respect? So Krishna is our supreme spiritual father. So we give respect to the elders. Like elders comes in our home, elders are there, we offer obeisances for their seniority, elder, everything. So same thing, Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. He gives everything for us. He is our supreme spiritual father. To that one, he is elderly, the eldest person. So who is going to take care of all ourselves. So that one, in that mood, one should pay obeisances due to respect. The next, devotional service. Obeisances is like one of the limb of devotional service. Service means expression of our love towards to the Lord with devotion. So that's why bhakti is translated Srila Prabhupada as devotional service. So the obeisances is kind of one limb in the devotional service. That's why we discussed Srila Rupa Goswami kept one of the 64 bhakti. Then next, okay, how we need to offer obeisances is with heart, words, and body. So I'll come this point in further slides in depth. So one has to offer obeisances with heart, words, and body. The next, gratitude. The mood of gratitude should be there in our act, the paying obeisances. Like how great the Lord is. He gave me a lot of opportunities. He gave me the opportunity to do the devotional service. I'm grateful for the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, who gave me, who accept me into the society of ISKCON, or who showered his mercy. At least we chant the rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or who created this kind of lovely family where everybody can come and enter and do the service towards to the Krishna. Everybody is souls, not like we should not discriminate by the body. So all this kind of whatever the acharyas have done for our bhakti practice, or whatever one can feel towards to the acharyas, that gratitude should be there in our offering obeisances. This offering obeisances we can offer to the gurus or spiritual masters who are very close, dear to the Supreme Lord, and we can offer to the Supreme Lord Krishna himself like that. When we offer to the spiritual master, we can show our gratitude towards them by showering their mercy. They situated in a place that where we can practice devotional service. Next one is surrendered mood. So Gajendra, so what he tried himself. So at last he surrendered. How he surrendered? He just paid obeisances with his trunk and calling loudly the Lord Narayana. How Draupadi, she tried herself to protect herself, but how she surrendered? By calling the Lord, by lifting the hands. That's how we do Hari Bol, right? So when we lift our hands, nothing is there in my hands. Please hold my hand and protect me. I'm give up. I'm give up. My abilities, my strength is gone now. Please protect me. I'm completely surrendering unto you. And next, Bali Maharaj, when Vaman Dev took like 2 feet of lands, like covering earthly planets and heavenly planets, like upper planets, then 3rd feet where he has to keep, then he don't have anything to do, just paid obeisances and bowed down, where he asked Lord to keep 3rd feet on his head, right? See, when we give up everything, nothing is there, then surrender, like nothing, I can't do anything. That time the person realizes, like, I don't, just all yours, you take whatever you want. So the Bali Maharaj did like one. This is the surrendered mode. Akrura, when Akrura enters into the Vrindavan, so I'm going to come with that prayer. So there Akrura says, like, now today, like that, 1 second, I want to read the translation. Okay, today all my sinful reactions have been eradicated and my birth has become worthwhile, since I will offer my obeisances to the Supreme Lord's lotus feet, which mystic yogis meditate upon. So when like he entered into the entrance of the Vrindavan, this verse comes in Srimad Bhagavatam 10:38-6. So there he says, by today all my sinful reactions are gone and eradicated, and my birth has become worthwhile. So this is the surrendered mode. Actually, the meaning, one of the meaning of obeisances is, I belong to you. So in Ramayana Yuddhakanda, Lord Ramachandra gives one assurance to all the devotees. Whoever comes to me by Sharanu, means like, I want shelter, and says at least once, I belongs to you, then I become there, like, they are my, he's going to give, Ramchandra is going to give complete protection to the devotees. And they have complete, like, they have complete rights to reach me. So this Sakrute is Prapanyatma. I forgot the complete verse, but Lord Ramachandra gives that assurance in that verse, saying that once in their life, if they say, oh Lord Ramachandra, I belong to you, and pays obeisances, then I'll take care of the devotee. So this is the one mode. And prayerful mode, we have a lot of prayers from Srimad Bhagavatam. So when Gajendra offers prayers, when we recite that verse, we can sense the mood of prayerful, how one should be in that crisis. And when lot of Rudrasura prayers, like when the death is going to attack, how one should meditate on the Lord, and how they should develop their consciousness. See, there are some prayers, the verses which comes in Srimad Bhagavatam. So one has to at least, like, learn the translation or verses. See, the verses, when the person is, especially in this Kali Yuga, if you see, when a person is in the deathbed, can't able to move body, and but consciousness is the one which comes at till the end of the last breath of the person, right? In that consciousness, if we imbibe all these Krishna's pastimes or all these verses, all the mood of prayerful mood, then nobody is going to take that one away from us. So that is kind of like, a few days back in the class, I mentioned, so verses in the book are like money in the bank. Verses in our consciousness are like money in our pocket. If any emergency comes, we just remove it and use it off. But if we want to take money from the bank, we need to do some process. Like physically, we need to go to ATM and draw the money, or we need to online process also. If you want to transfer money, we need to take system and do. But when we have in the consciousness or in the pocket, then immediately we can use it. So that is the one, this prayerful mood is going to help us. At the time of death, one can remember the Lord by cultivating some kind of remembering the situations or remembering the prayers. See, in this material world, we remember a lot of things. To survive, we learn technologies. Without learning something, we can't survive. Either it is a technology, or either it is like art of work or painting, or lot of efforts we put to do material things. When it comes to the spiritual things, like a verse memorization, or if not, at least translation or meditating the translation, so that is going to help us to save from the exam of the life, that is the death. So that prayerful mode is going to come when we like meditate. Like yesterday Jiva Mataji said, one can meditate and Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram, that was translation Mataji read. So please place me as an atom on the dust of your lotus feet. So when we at least English translation or verse, when we learn that one, so nobody is going to stop us to bring that verse from our consciousness at the time of death, right? So when we imbibe, so the level of the imbibe, the consciousness, how much we pull the scriptures into our consciousness, pull the pastimes of the Lord into our consciousness, that is the one which is going to make us to remember Lord at the time of death. So that's what the prayerful mood. That prayerful mood is going to express, see, in the case of obeisances now. So when we go pay obeisances to the Lord, we can recite that verse Ainanda Trija Kinkaram, or we can meditate on the Lord. When we offer complete obeisances to the Krishna, please Krishna, place me as an atom on your dust, or a particle of on dust, the dust on your lotus feet. When we meditate, see, the words are coming. So when we writing the verse, one should meditate on the meaning of the verse, and at the same time physically we are paying obeisances. So in this way, with heart meditating on the meaning, words, reciting the verse, and paying obeisances, the body. In this way, heart, words, and body, all three are engaged in the active action of paying obeisances. So that's what here it says, with heart, words, and body. There is a scriptural reference for that one. We will see that one. And at last is the love. One should cultivate the love towards to the Lord when we offer obeisances. That is the ultimate goal of devotional service limb, that is paying obeisances. So let's see this one, with heart, words, and body. Lord Brahma offers beautiful prayers. Almost everyone knows this prayer, very, very important in Srimad Bhagavatam. It's the verse is Tatenu Kampam Susamikshamano Bunjana Evatma Krutam Vipakam Hritvak Vapudbir Vidadan Namaste Jivetayo Mukti Pade Sadayabak. So in this verse, so when the devotees are in struggles, so they eagerly wait, anukampam, the compassion of the Lord, when the Lord showers the compassion on us. And what they will do, bunjana eva atma krutam vipakam, they feel that one, due to my past misdeeds, I am suffering. This is one angle of the verse. But the third one line is, that's what we, like, it's relating to the today's topic. Hrutvak vabudhir vidadan namaste. So they offer obeisances in that mood. Like, when will I get your mercy? And all these misdeeds, I'm going through all these troubles due to my misdeeds. But in that consciousness, but they offer obeisances. Namaste. Vidadan means offering. Through what? Hrut, heart. Vak, word. Vapu means body. Hrutvak vapubhir vidadan namaste. They offer obeisances continuously with the heart, words, and body. Jivetayo mukti sadedaya. Jivetayo mukti pade sadayabak. In this mood, in this kind of mood, whoever offer obeisances to the Lord, they are right to claim the mukti, the liberation. So this is what the Brahma offers prayers. So one should, like, this is the verse which is going to set an definition for paying obeisances. One should offer with a heart, words, and body. Then next, in Nectar of Devotion, Srila Prabhupada says, it is an offense to offer obeisances silently to the deity or spiritual master or Vaishnavas. So one should not offer obeisances silently without doing anything, just like bowing down. No. So what we need to do while offering obeisances, we all know when we are offering obeisances to the Vaishnavas, we can recite Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyasya prayer. And when we are offering obeisances to the spiritual masters, we can recite Pranam mantras. When we are offering obeisances to the deities, we can offer Jayadvani. Jayadvani means every time in the Sunday feast after the Aarti, we do Jayadvani. Nama Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Acharya Ashtottara Shri Shri Abhaya Charanaravindha Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So like that all the first acharyas comes, then the lordships comes, all the lordship names like Jagannath, Lord Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, Shaligram, Shilas, Narsimhadev. Then after that one places comes all the Tirthayatras, Vrindavan, like Mayapur, Navadvip Dham, and all the places comes. Then after that one Vaishnavas, and then at last that this is called every time Pari Prabhu and Jiva Mataji, whoever says, then we say Jai, 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 that Jayadvani. So that is the mood when we offer, completely we pay obeisances throughout that Jayadvani. So that is the word, or that is the consciousness. Both it's going to help us in offering obeisances. We need to meditate on the Jayadvani. Then next, so this is the words like a few references from Srimad Bhagavatam. Akrura prays here. Namaste Vasudevaya Sarvabhuta Kshayaya Cha Hrishikesha Namastubhyam Prapannam Pahimam Prabhu. Here the mood of surrender is there. So Akrura is saying, I offer obeisances to Vasudevaya, who is the son of Vasudeva, and who where all the Sarvabhuta Kshayaya Cha, every living entity resides. And Hrishikesha Namastubhyam, you are the master of the senses and mind. I am taking surrender unto you. Prapannam Pahimam Prabhu. Prapannam means surrender. Pahi means I am offering obeisances. Prabhu means O master. Then next, see, this is the important thing, like Prabhupada gives in the purport of 10.8.41. The context of this verse is Yashoda Mai saw the universal form in the mouth of Krishna. There in the purport, Prabhupada said, see, Yashoda Mai got bewildered by seeing all the thing, but at last she paid obeisances to Krishna. So in the same way, when devotees, when some problems for which we don't have find any reason, and there is no alternative than to surrender to the Supreme Lord, we offer our respectful obeisances. So that will secure our position. The expression of that offering obeisances is going to secure our position. This was the means adopted in this instance also by Mother Yashoda. Okay. So last verse is Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkha Samanastam Namami Harimpanam. So this is the last verse of Srimad Bhagavatam out of 18,000 verses. So there in the last verse it says Nama Sankirtanam Yasya, the congregational chanting of the holy names of Lord Hari, Sarva Papa Pranashanam, which relieves from all the sinful activities, Pranamo. So by bowing down to that Hari, Dukkha Samanas, all the miseries will get rid of. Tam Namami Harimparam. By chanting of the holy names, one is going to get rid of all the miseries. So I don't know the third point I can cover. It's already 5 more minutes is there. So I'll take a pause here, but power of offering obeisances, I think 2 more slides are there. I know, let's see. Okay, I'll quickly cover. So third point is power of offering obeisances. There is a sloka, there is a quote in the Skanda Puran from Hari Bhakti Vilas. Any person who has seen Shaligrama Shila, paid obeisances to him, bathed and worshipped him, has achieved the results of performing 10 million sacrifices and giving 10 million counts in charity. So this is the quote from Skanda Puran. If one offers one obeisances to Lord Govinda or Lord Shaligram Shila. And example from the Acharyas, Raghunath Das Goswami every day used to offer 1,000 obeisances to Krishna and 2,000 obeisances to Vaishnavas every day. Why this count is, see, even this count like Shet Goswami's Sankhya Purvaka Nama Gana Natipihi. So the Sankhya is going to help us to increase our love towards to Krishna. But it's not mean one should show off their number of obeisances by showing the number I offer this much obeisances like that. But these acharyas are setting example to increase our love towards Krishna, like increasing the number of rounds chanting and everything. Then there are in Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.23-24, there are Prabhupada mentions in the purport like Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu verse. There are 5 offenses while offering obeisances. Those are to offer obeisances on one hand. One should not offer with one hand obeisances, and to offer obeisances with one's body covered. Completely covering body, one should not offer, and to show one's back to the deity while offering obeisances, that is not that is an offense. And to offer obeisances on the left side of the deity, and to offer obeisances very near to the deity, means it's like a pujaris or who are there within the close area of the deity, one should not offer obeisances. So the conclusion is obeisances means our mind, words and body involved, then it is complete obeisances. Thank you all. I'll stop here. If you have any questions or comments or corrections, please feel free to add. Thank you all. Hare Krishna.
I'd like to make a comment.
Prabhuji.
Okay, well, firstly, I appreciate your explaining the Sanskrit. It's very helpful. And so the word obeisances is not very common in the English language, at least in America. I don't know, maybe elsewhere it is. But of course, so when I first heard obeisances, I wasn't sure, really what devotees meant by that. But of course, the idea of respect and reverence and bowing down is very common in America. We know those concepts. So my comment is, obeisances comes from the word obey, right? And to obey means to follow instructions and so forth. So I looked up that word obey. I kind of a wordsmith, and I know Prabhupada always chose his words carefully. And so the meaning of the word obey, it comes from Latin, from 2 words, ob, and then audire, A-U-D-I-R-E. And audire means to hear. And ob is from or before or about. So you're hearing about or you're hearing before someone. And so I think that we're implicit in the idea of obeisances is following and hearing. That's my point, is that if we're really going to be sincere about it, if it's to Lord, if we're offering obeisances to Lord Krishna or to one of his manifestations or to one of his representatives, then we're obligated to follow that person, right? And to hear from that person, which I think are, Krishna conscious principles anyway. But so anyway, that's my point is I think offering obeisances, is more than just a symbolic act, like you're saying. We offer mind, body, soul, everything.
Yeah.
I just want to add that I think we don't do it whimsically. We have to do it sincerely, which entails, implicit in that is to follow that person and to obey, means to follow that person and to hear from that person. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for adding that one.
Mataji, even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says 1865, Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyajimam namaskuru mam eva shasi satyam te pratijane priyoshime. He says, always think of me, become my devotee, worship me and offer obeisances unto me. So Krishna himself says that we should do that. And even Aindra Prabhu at the time of death, this culmination of his bhakti and all the respects, he paid obeisances to his deities when he knew that he had to leave his body. And that always I'll remember that, that motivates me.
Yes, Mataji. So a lot of references, like, even all the scriptures, like a lot of references for about the offering obeisances. Thank you, Mataji, for bringing like example.
And I wanted to say that Kanakadasa's guru was Vyasatirtha.
Vyasatirtha, yes.
And I grew up, listening to Kanakadasa's songs, which were imbued with philosophy for the, common people. It was so wonderful. And he is the person. And I grew up also visiting the temple where he was not allowed to come in, the Udupi Krishna temple.
Yes.
And he was asked because of his lower caste. He actually was a very rich man called Kanaka, means gold in Kannada. And we grow up hearing that Nanu hodare hodenu, which is translated into if I go, I may go.
I will go, I may go.
Yeah. And he was asked to go to the back of the temple and chant because he was of the lower caste and not allowed to come into the temple. and his chanting was so deep. His attachment to the holy name was so much. He was just chanting so uproariously that the wall of the temple fell down and the deity of Krishna turned towards the back. Yeah. So we grew up, very much with Kanakadasa's songs and the philosophy.
Nice, Mataji. Thank you.
It's 5 o'clock.
Yes. So we'll stop here. We'll go for the Aarti. Thank you all. We'll pay obeisances to all the Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpata.
Alpaturubius tra kripasindubia eva chapatitanam pavanabhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Antakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you all. Hare Krishna.
We want to welcome our new member, Bria. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
जगन्नाथ भगवान सुभद्रा माई बलदेव भगवान की
Jai.
गीता गौर चंद्र की
Jai.
प्रभुपाद की
Jai.
नामा कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाया भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी की बजयो जायो गोरा चांदे आरती का शोभा जायो गोरा चांदे आरती का शोभा
Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabrajacharya Cha Satara Sata Shri Shri Maharaj Divine Grace Shila Bhai Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Shila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabrajacharya Cha Satara Sata Shri Shri Maharaj Divine Grace Shila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Shila Prabhupada Jai. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Acharya Shila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudhi Gaura Bhaktivinda Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shama Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Puri Dham Ki Jai. Gangamai Ki Jai. Munamai Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Mati Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai. Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Devi Ki Jai. Shri Gaur Nitai Ki Jai. Shri Gaur Nitai Ki Jai. Lord Nrsimha Deva Ki Jai. Vishalagram Shilas Ki Jai. Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai. Damaveta Bhaktavinda Ki Jai. Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Praladaladaine.
Praladaladaine.
Hiranyakashipu Rakshaha.
Hiranyakashipu Rakshaha.
Shilatankanakalaye.
Shilatankanakalaye.
Ito Narsimho Parato Narsimho.
Ito Narsimho Parato Narsimho.
Ito Narsimho Parato Narsimho.
Ito Narsimho Parato Narsimho.
Yato Yato Yamitato Narsimho.
Yato Yato Yamitato Narsimho.
Yato Yato Yamitato Narsimho.
Yato Yato Yamitato Narsimho.
Bahe Narsimho Hridaye Narsimho.
Bahe Narsimho Hrudaye Narsimho.
Narasimha Madim Sharanam Prapade.
Narasimha Madim Sharanam Prapate.
Tava Kara Kamalavare Nagam Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringam Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare.
Hare Krishna. Looks like we lost Raga Shindu Prabhu.
Kara Kamala Kare Naka Adbhuta Shinda Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringa Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Tabakara Kamala Vare Naka Adbhuta Shinda Lalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringa Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Vena Vena Shaya Jaya Shingare Vena Vena Shaya Jaya Shingare Vena Vena Shaya Jaya Shingare Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Bhakta Prahlad Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Bhakta Prahlad Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Bhakta Prahlad Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Srinath Lakshmana Shinde Bhagwan ki Jai Jai Prahlad Maharaj ki Jai Pada ki Jai Hari Bol Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Thank you very much everybody for joining us for our Sunday program online this afternoon. I don't think we have any free sponsors today. Jiva Mataji, Hare Krishna. Just wanted to confirm with you once, Mataji. We don't. Mataji, you are muted.
We have one, Shalini Bansal.
Haribol. Shalini Bansal ki jai. If anybody is interested in sponsoring our program today or for any of our upcoming Sunday programs, you can contact His Grace Pyari Mohan Prabhuji or Her Grace Jiva Mataji at the temple phone number displayed on your screen. And regular Sunday program sponsorships are for $125 only. Purushottam Adhik Mas is ongoing, and it is said that our spiritual benefits are increased if we engage in more spiritual activities. Our spiritual benefits are increased during this time period, so it is recommended that we engage in more chanting and reading, especially Bhagavad Gita chapter 15 is recommended, and we are continuously doing that every morning. All glories to Ragasundar Prabhuji's efforts. And Chaturmasya observation is also suspended during this period. So we just have a few more days remaining for Purushottam Adhik Mas. So we request all devotees to engage in as much spiritual activities as possible during this time frame. Purushottam Adhik Mas ki jai. Tuesday, October 13th is Ekadashi. Hari Bol. It is recommended for those of us who can to fast from grains and beans on this day and engage in more spiritual activities like reading more of Srila Prabhupada's books, chanting more rounds of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Fast break is on the next day, Wednesday, October 14th. And we're going to have our special Ekadasi Bhajan Kirtan program on Tuesday. This time, the timing is from 5:45 to 6:45 p.m. in the evening. Please try to join that program. One of our biggest events of the year, Sri Govardhan Puja, is going to be celebrated by ISKCON of Connecticut on November 15th. Hari Bol! So as we had already announced earlier, the plans are ongoing. It's going to be an indoor program at Glastonbury Temple. The details, intricacies are being worked out. It's also going to be available online via Zoom and Facebook. It's going to include circumambulation, Abhishek, Chappan Bhog offering, and you can sponsor the program for only $151. And we will be circulating more details about the program in the upcoming few days. So please stay tuned for that. A quick snapshot of our regular online programs. You can also find the details on our ISKCON of Connecticut website. The link is also available at the bottom of your screen. Most of the programs are, having quite good attendance, very interesting conversations, discussions. So please make every effort to join these programs. You can participate via Zoom. It's the standard ISKCON of Connecticut Zoom link that is displayed on your screen. Next, I would request Ganpati Govind Prabhuji to share some of the announcements related to book distribution. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you so much, Dev Prabhu. So the reason I wanted to come up and talk here is December 25th is Christmas, as we know, but it is also the advent of Bhagavad Gita. It's Gita Jayanti on December 25th. And this year, the North American Sankirtan leadership team, headed by His Grace Vashishika Prabhu, they have announced that they are observing Gita Jayanti as the World Gita Day 2020. And they have embarked on an auspicious, on a very ambitious target of distributing at least 100,000 Bhagavad Gitas throughout the North America. So this is certainly an ambitious target, and they have requested all North American temples to contribute. So we are thinking to take up at least 1% of that target, which basically 1,008 Bhagavad Gitas. This has to be distributed by the end of December this year. So we are requesting devotees, if devotees would like to help us with that, they can actually take boxes from the temple and distribute it to their loved ones, to their friends, to their relatives. We can also actually, if you like, we can ship it out on your behalf. If you like to send it to someone who is out of state, out of city, you can just let us know. You can contact me. You can tell us how many copies you want to ship at which specific address. So generally, what we have noticed is to ship one single Bhagavad Gita copy, hard Bhagavad Gita copy, it costs about $4. Give and take a few dollars. The cost to ship out a soft Bhagavad Gita is approximately $3. Again, give a few dollars or cents here and there, depending on the address on which you are shipping it to. So usually the hard Bhagavad Gita box costs $160, but we are doing a special pricing for Gita Jayanti. The hard Bhagavad Gita box is available only for $125, and the soft Bhagavad Gita case is available usually for $120. But for Gita Jayanti, there is a special pricing on it. It's available only for $108. So you can actually take a box if you like, or you can let us know. You can sponsor it, and if you want, you can give us the address where you would like us to ship it, or you can just sponsor it and we can distribute it on your behalf. Actually, Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita, this is 18.68, he says, for one who explains this supreme secret to others, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he will come back to me. And he says something much more sweeter in 18.69, he says, "There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever one be more dear."
You're frozen.
So,
Can't hear
can you not hear
anything.
me? Okay.
I
You
can
can hear us?
him.
Yes.
I can hear
Yeah,
him.
okay. I think it's
Oh.
okay. Looks like Hari Prabhu is having some internet issues.
I have a lot of issues.
Okay.
Hari Prabhu has to take one box now.
Yeah, good idea, Prabhu. So this is your opportunity to come in Krishna's good books. So please help us with this target. And actually, these books definitely help others. And I have a testimony here to share with all of you. I'll share my screen.
Before you
I'm
read
sorry,
the
go ahead, Prabhu.
testimony, I had some questions. I didn't hear who's paying for the shipment if you want it, if somebody wants a book shipped to somebody.
Yeah, they will like who is buying the box, they will have to pay the shipping cost. That's why I mentioned the shipping cost. It's usually one hardcover Bhagavad Gita, it's approximately $4. Soft cover Bhagavad Gita, $3. If you want to ship a full case of hard Bhagavad Gita, it would be approximately $20. Again, give and take a few dollars here and there depending on the destination. Obviously, if you are shipping it somewhere in the West Coast, it's going to cost a little more. Similarly, if you want to ship out one full case of soft Bhagavad Gita, it would cost approximately about $18, like $15 to $18, depending on the destination. One hardcover box, like one box of hardcover Bhagavad Gitas, it has 10 copies, and one full case of soft Bhagavad Gita, it has 24 copies in it. Again, the price for hardcover Bhagavad Gita box is $125. It's a special pricing, and the price for like a soft cover Bhagavad Gita case is $108. Any questions, comments? Okay. And here is the testimony that I would like to share with you. Here is a letter that we received from one of the inmates. So this inmate is being in touch with me for a few years now, and he has been reading Srila Prabhupada books. I have hidden his name here, basically white labeled his name because I have taken his permission to share this letter. So I'm going to read it out, and he writes in this letter how the books are really helping him out. This inmate is actually in Connecticut, and he has been corresponding with me for at least last 2 to 3 years. He has been reading Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita. Recently, I shared with him few other books of Srila Prabhupada, and he has actually given his appreciation about the books. I'm going to read it out. I know the writing is not very good here. I have scanned this letter. Hare Krishna Ganpati, so good to hear from you. It has been such a long time. I'm doing well. Thank you for inquiring. These times are really mentally and emotionally trying for the most part. I just got the books that you sent to me. Thank you so much. I really miss the Bhagavad Gita in my life. There was a nice picture also of Krishna. I started to read Sri Ishopanishad. This book is awesome. It is exactly what I needed to read. It is very informative. I wanted to learn the systems of knowledge, and it has all of that. Now I know about Vyasadeva and how he wrote the Vedas, the 4 Vedas, Rig, Sam, Atharva, and Yajur, and the 18 Puranas, Upanishad, and Vedanta Sutra. His guru was named Narada, and now I know that the Mahabharata contains the knowledge of the history of India. Also, it said that Hindu is a foreign word, and the true name is Gaudiya Vaishnavas, but I do not know what Gaudiya Vaishnavas means. I am still trying to wrap my mind around all of the aspects of Krishna. It's a deeper understanding than I learned in Islam or Christianity. It amazes me that all of this was thought of 5,000 years ago, or it was written 5,000 years ago. So how long ago was it that Krishna and Arjuna was on earth together? I got a lot of information and I'm only on page 14. The books really are great. I find that chanting is really necessary right now during these times. It feels like the world is flipped upside down. I just realized something. The Bhagavad Gita is the only scripture where God, Krishna, speaks for himself. All the other religious books use we and us, which always confuse me, no matter how people try to justify it. I always thought that if God wrote a book for man, he would address man as if he's speaking for himself, as I and not we. I was reading part of the chapter on transcendental knowledge yesterday. It was speaking about how all we need is just knowledge of Krishna. The highest science is knowledge of Krishna. Later today, I'm going to do some rounds of the Hare Krishna. Well, school is about to start. I don't want my children attending just yet. Gets vaccinated. People have lost the respect and fear of COVID-19, and that is not wise. How is your family doing? Is everyone okay? Thank you for the magazine subscription also. I will write more soon. Hari Bol. I white labeled his name as I mentioned. So he actually has been reading Srila Prabhupada books for some time, basically Bhagavad Gita. And recently he was moved from his earlier prison facility to another facility. But before moving, he had given his copy of Bhagavad Gita to one other inmate. And he also started corresponding with me now. So, and this person actually is from Muslim background. And somehow he got a copy of Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita. And that basically transformed him. So I think he will have to stay in prison for at least 7 more years, but hopefully he will be a much better person when he comes out. So this was the testimony that I wanted to share with you. So if anyone of you are inspired to sponsor any Bhagavad Gitas, you can contact me. Thank you.
Wow,
Over to you.
Ganapati. That person is intelligent, although he can't spell in some places, but he's really intelligent.
Yeah. Right. He is taking a law course now because he has time, but he has started chanting also many rounds, and he is actually preaching now in the prison. He's telling other inmates about it, and he comes from a Muslim background. That's all the way more amazing.
Excellent. We might have a devotee when he comes out, huh?
Exactly. Thank you, everyone.
I don't know how you find the time.
Sorry, Mataji.
I don't know how you find the time to do everything. I said, write letters to inmates too. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not very frequently, Mataji. There's one other inmate who started writing to our temple. He is from California. He just wrote 2 letters so far. So
he's a Messiah.
Yeah, his name is Messiah.
Is there any women prisons that you sent to, or this is just male prisoners?
So far, I only interacted with male prisoners, Mataji.
Yeah, we've been here.
Our prison.
We've been here for many years.
Sorry,
Prabhu. Gotten things from prisoners. Never a woman prisoner in all this time. It's too. They initiate it somehow.
Yeah, you were trying to get in touch with some prison, weren't you, Perry?
Yeah. I did everything I had to do, but then I don't know what happened. I don't think that see, because it's a chaplain. You have to work through the chaplain, and I don't think the chaplain really wants us to have anything to do with it, because they're in prison, and then they learn about this, and then they're going to go to hell.
Yeah, but he's probably requested to do. Yeah,
he's supposed to, but
yeah,
he's reluctant. That's what I think. I can't be positive. I don't know, but that's just my speculation.
But we didn't take too much interest either, right? We didn't follow up.
I did a few things. I had to fill out all kinds of forms and stuff. I did all that. And I wanted to send a set of Bhagavatams, and that was the end, basically. I don't know what happened. I should try again. I guess I should try again. That was in Danbury prison.
Ganpati Govind, you should have Satyendra do an auction on the books. I was just going to suggest.
Yeah, that's a very nice idea, Mataji. And we have time for the actual day of Gita Jayanti. So that's why we are trying to start a little early, so that if people are really willing to sponsor or distribute, they will have time to think about whom to give, what to give.
We're thinking if we can give the prisons, a case or 2 cases of Bhagavad Gitas that they can give out to the prisoners. And they can have kirtans together. They could all be.
A good idea.
because they don't have too much to do in the prison.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, if you are sponsoring for prison, right, I would like to sponsor one case for Bhagavad Gita.
Oh, thank you so much, Prabhuji. I'll take down that name. Thank you.
Rebol.
Aye.
Ganpati Govind Prabhu, if it is, then I would also like to sponsor one. This is Manishi.
Oh, thank you, Mataji. Mataji, you would like to sponsor hard case or soft case?
Soft case, Prabhuji.
Soft is a lot. There's more books.
And yeah, Damalu Prabhu, you would like to sponsor hard or soft?
Whatever they read, Prabhu. Whatever is best. Yeah.
Okay.
Hard is easier to read, right?
Hard has few distinct things which I would quickly mention. One is it has the Sanskrit. The soft cover one does not have the Sanskrit. I mean, it only has the English transliteration, but not the actual Sanskrit. The fonts are also a little bigger. But other than that, the content is almost. There are also some more pictures in the hardcover Bhagavad Gita. And obviously, because it's a hardbound Gita, it lasts longer than the soft cover. So,
Ganapati Govinda Prabhu, this is Chennaya. We are also going to sponsor one hardcore box, Prabhu.
Yes,
Who's that?
Oh, thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Chennaya Prabhu.
Chennaya Prabhu.
Oh, Jai. Jai, Hari Bol. Thank you.
And you have my sponsored already, right? You
Yes, Mataji, you have sponsored 5 cases already, so I have your name. Thank you so much for doing that.
Prabhuji, we would like to sponsor one soft case Bhagavad Gita.
Is that Shri?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, Shri.
Your parents know about that?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Damadeshwar, you were saying something?
Yeah, Gita Mataji, you are in default sponsor list, Mataji, in our book distribution.
As
Not
I
default,
should,
fourth
as
sponsor
I should
list.
be. I have instructions to distribute books. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I would like to sponsor one hardcover box. Yugadharma Mataji.
Okay, thank you. Yugadharma Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Doing pretty well without Satyendra there. Ganpati Govinda. I think you encouraged people with your prison story.
It's true, Mataji. It's not made up. We are not cooking it up. So.
No, of course. I didn't say you made up. I'm just saying it is bringing some enthusiasm that even a prisoner is showing such, transformation.
We're all prisoners.
That is true, Bjari.
Right.
In one way or the other.
Anyone else before we move on with the program? All right. Dev Prabhu, over to you.
Hare Krishna, thank you for adding that, Prabhuji. That was very inspiring.
Well
Gita
done.
Jayanti and Gita Day ki jai. Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, we want to sponsor one case of hard copies Bhagavad Gita.
Hard copies? Okay, thank you, Mataji. I'll put down your name.
Okay, Hari Bol.
Thank you, Mataji. And if anyone else is interested, you can let us know now, or you can, put your names on the chat as well if you would like. Or, even before the end of this program, you can let us know. Otherwise, you can always contact Ganpati Govind Prabhuji. We will now have more chanting for our free sponsors. Did anyone else have anything? I heard someone. Okay, we will move over to our sponsor chanting with Bhakti Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Ram Sankirtan ki
Jai.
Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Hare Bol.
Prabhupada ki Jai. Our Shalini Mataji and family ki Jai. Thank you again, everyone, for joining our Sunday program online this evening. And we hope to see you again in our upcoming programs. Now we will have our Ashtakam.
Raje Prasidam Navnitacharam Gopagananam Chadukulacharam
Aneka janmarjita papachoram Choragratanyam purusham namami.
Aneka janmarjita papachoram Choraganyam purusham namami.
Shrinadikaya Idreyasya Choram Navambuta
हृदयस्य चोरम् न कुतशामक्लकान्ते चालम् पलाशितानां च समस्तचोराम् चोरग्रगण्यां पुरुषं नमामि पदस्थितानां च समस्तचोराम् चोरग्रगण्यां पुरुषं नमामि अकिञ्चनीकृत्य पदाशितान्या करोति भिक्षां पतिगेहहीनाम् अकिञ्चनीकृत्य पदाश्रितान्या करोति भिक्षां पतिगेहहीनम् केनापि हहो विषाणाचरयेत्रे त्रिचोषतो वन जगत्रयापि केनापि हहो विषाणाचरयेत्रे दृष्टाश्रुतो वन जगत्रयापि यानेयनामपि हेत्यशेषां गिरिप्रसारन्नपि पापराशं यदि नामान्यशेषं गिरिप्रसारन्नपि पापराशिम् आचार्यरूपो ननुचोरयेत्रे त्रिचत्रुतो वनमया कदापि आचार्यरूपो ननुचोरयेत्रे त्रिचत्रुतो वनमया कदापि दानं च मानं च तदेन्द्रियाणि प्राणं च हित्वा मम सर्वमेवम् दानं च मानं च तदेन्द्रियाणि प्राणं च हित्वा मम सर्वमेव पाल्यस्वीकृत्योदितोदयचोरा त्र्यम्बकिदानासि माया निरुता पालस्य कुत्राद्वितोदयचोरा त्वं भक्तिदं नासि मायै निरुधा चिनासि कोरान्यमापासपन्दा मेनासि भीमां पवपासपन्दा चिनासि गोराम्यमापासपन्दं विनसि भीमं भवपाशबन्धं चिनासि सर्वस्य समस्तबन्धं मृत्मनोपक्तकृतं तु बन्धं चिनासि सर्वस्य समस्तबन्धं निमत्मनोपक्तकृतं तु बन्धं मन्मसितं न सरसि कुरे कराग्रिके दुःखमाया निपता मन्मसितं न सरसि कुरे कराग्रिके दुःखमाये निबध्ये नमस्महे चोरहरे चिराय स्वचौर्यदक्षिं तमेवातन्तं लभस्व हि चोरहरे चिराय स्वचौर्या दूषितं निवदन्तम् करागिगे वससाधृत्ये मध्ये मद्भक्ति उपसधृतबन्धनिलशसान् त्वं कृष्ण हे प्रलयकोटिसन्तरपि सर्वस्व चोरहृदयन्नै मोक्ष्यामि करागिगे वससाधृत्ये मध्ये Mad Bhakti Pasadita Bandhan Lashrasan Tvam Krishna Hai Pranaya Koti Santarapi Sarvasva Chora Hridyanai Mokshami.
Hare Krishna. We'll read translation now. I offer my respectful obeisances to the foremost of thieves, who is famous in Braja as the butter thief, and he who steals the Gopi's cloths, and who, for those who take shelter of him, steal the sins which have accrued over many lifetimes.
I offer my respectful obeisances to the foremost of thief who steals Srimati Radhika's heart, who steals the dark luster of a fresh rain cloud, and who steals all the sins and sufferings of those who take shelter of his feet.
He turns his surrendered devotees into paupers and wandering homeless beggar. Alas, such a fearsome thief has never been seen or heard in all the three worlds.
Mere utterance of his name purges one of a mountain of sins. Such an astonishingly wonderful thief I have never seen or heard anywhere.
O thief, having stolen my wealth, my honor, my senses, my everything, where can you run to? I have caught you with the rope of my devotion.
You cut the terrible noose of Yamaraj. You sever the dreadful noose of material existence, and you slash everyone's material bondage. But you are unable to cut the knot fastened by your own loving devotee.
Stealer of
O
my
stealer of
everything,
my
O
everything. Go ahead,
thief, today I have imprisoned you in the miserable prison house of my heart, which is very fearful due to the terrible darkness of my ignorance. And there for a very long time you will remain, receiving appropriate punishment for your crimes of thievery.
O Krishna, thief of my everything, the noose of my devotion remaining forever tight, you will continue to reside in the prison house of my heart, because I will not release you for millions of eons. Hare Krishna.
Shri Shri Chaurashtakam ki.
Jai.
Ki.
Jai.
Shri Vallabhi ki.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for joining the Sunday Feast program and also joining Chaurashtaka program. I think we are done for the 2 days. Thank you for joining, and we'll continue next week. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah.
Krishna.